I made a video a couple of days ago. I tried to upload it. I'm gonna try to make this one short and sweet. I went to a parenting class. They asked me to fill out this form called ACEs, whether or not you had this support in your home, was somebody abusive in your home, did somebody use drugs, did somebody absent in your home, was there somebody that wasn't stable in your home? And after you mark, and if you mark yes on these, you add them up as your aces. But I had zero. But they said that these aces cause stress to you as a child, which you convey through generations. But they did not ask how many times did your parents have citations for registration violations or anything to do with law enforcement, which they used to come to the house all the time. They used to give my dad's parking tickets. They used to cite us for our livestock. They used to harass us for this and harass us for that. That all took food away from from me as a child to service the fines and fees associated with these infractions, so to speak. They finally developed a comprehensive way to deal with it and developed the dealer tags. Well, we got dealer tags. Stuff started to smooth out a little bit. Then they said, well, we have to force you to put a wall up around your junk so nobody can see your cars and your livelihood of your recycling and your home. So, for 2 winters, I basically had to go without so we could facilitate this wall that we had to build, and that caused stress. And then we had the dealer tags. Finally got leveled out from that, and I started driving around with dealer tags. And I was trying to sell cars. I kept getting pulled over, kept getting pulled over, kept getting pulled over because they'd see me in this car, then they'd see me in that car, and then they'd see me in this car. They kept pulling me over until it finally flagged in Raleigh that they said that this car's getting pulled over too much. And then they audited us and basically restricted our ability to have like dealer tags. It, all that causes stress. Marked police cars riding around your neighborhood. If you're in the trailer park and they come, they take your dad and make him do a stint in jail for inability to pay fines. And then your dad comes back. Well, every time that young child sees that deputy come through that trailer park, that's affecting them. They did not mention that in the ACEs. All this stuff with social services that I'm going through is being facilitated to put more money into the industry of social workers. The parental assessment was done by clinical social workers. The parenting class is clinical social workers. The Daymark is right there in the social services building. Uh, that assessment, I assume, was clinical social workers. Now they want me to do more counseling with the clinical social workers. So why don't we get rid of these ACEs and these stress that in the parenting class they said you're either a nurturer, nurtured, victim, or bully. Well, the people that do the most bullying are the ones that give you fines all the time. Every time I get a decent every time, all my life, all the way through till I was like 26 years old, from the time I had my license at 18, I always had a $500 fine for a moving violation. Not even an accident or nothing, just a simple moving violation. That the officer swore out that I did something wrong and I had no way to defend myself, so I got convicted. This happened every year for my 20s. I was not able to leave this community through my whole 20s because every summer I had to pay $500. I had to borrow $500 from this employer or that employer, and pay it to the county for moving infractions. Not violent crimes or anything, just moving infractions. Then I didn't desire to go anywhere, and all of a sudden I get a car that's capable of going somewhere, and I'm feeling that my son's mature enough to go somewhere and know where he's from if something was to happen, to where he could find his way home. On a road trip, he could say where he's from to the authorities if necessary and get returned to his family. So now I got social services slandering me, and now here I am stuck in this community full of bullies. Now I tried to upload this video. I said it better the other day. I hit upload 2 times and it was suppressed. Now I'm going to upload this, but remember, my ACEs were not caused by any kind of substance abuse or neglect or abuse in my home. It was caused, the trauma that might have hurt my development was caused by harassment by law enforcement, whether it be a moving violation, a motorcycle, going across the road to get to the cow pasture to ride around on the, literally crossing the street, we'd get harassed by deputies. They'd sit and they'd see us cross the street to get to the big open fields, and they'd harass us. I remember that. I was riding on the back of the motorcycle. My next door neighbor, he crossed the street, straight across it. Just like we would on a bicycle, but on a motorcycle. Went straight across the street and up on the hill. Come back down, and the deputy's sitting there harassing us. Nobody asked for the state to take that road and make it a state-owned property. Okay? Individuals built roads to their homes. Not for the government to come in and say, well, you built 3 homes, now it's a public road, you can't ride your four-wheeler or your motorcycle on it. If we catch you, we're going to give you a fine and a fee. That's how it goes. They bulldozed my home so other people could profit. To build a 4-lane highway so other people could profit. They bulldozed a whole community so other people could profit. Claiming eminent domain. It's not a necessity to bulldoze. It's not a necessity. There was no necessity that warranted eminent domain. It was just purely bullying so other people could profit over our well-being. Our well-being was disregarded so other people could profit. That is the problem. That's causing the ACEs. Okay? These people in these marked police cars going through these trailer parks, they think they're harmless. They think they're there to protect people. But when they drag people's parents to jail and put them in the system, and then they finally get out, every time they return down that road in that marked police vehicle, they're imposing mental anguish on them children. It's not that the children are hateful, it's that you're causing stress, retarding their development. That's what the parenting class said. Stress to a child retards their mental capacity to develop properly. And I'm thinking, yeah, but it's not mental stress from within the home. It's from the outside social workers and the law enforcement that have this overwhelming, burdening presence over every single person in the public school system. We need to address that. There shouldn't be a marked vehicle. You should not see one marked patrol car unless there's a complaint or a warrant sworn. Unless they're there to respond to an imminent threat, they shouldn't be cruising through these trailer parks. They shouldn't be cruising through people's neighborhoods in marked police cars unless there is a call. Shouldn't be sitting up here. They shouldn't drive by, see me standing at the top of the driveway to meet the bus, and then turn around, come back, and harass me at the top of my driveway waiting for the school to let out. And that's harassment. They literally pulled up the deputy that I know of that had an altercation that led into a fatality on the other side of the county, got out of his car, asked me what I was doing standing there to harass me. That kind of stuff. There's nobody called him. There was no complaint. That was somebody cruising a neighborhood to intimidate and retard mental development of the citizens. I don't know that he realizes he's doing that. I don't think that they put the correlation together. But I tell you what, they don't do surveys that ask them kind of questions, because that would be an unbiased survey rather than the orchestrated statistics that they're gathering now. If you don't put the question out there, you're not going to get the proper statistics. It's not the parents that cause the stress as much as you play it is. It's not the stress at my house that caused my son to feel stress. When my son gets up in the morning, he's going to school, he's not liking it. When he gets home, you can see he's all alleviated of his depression and his stress. Going to school, why was he having stress? Maybe because the teacher kept sending him to a counselor once a week for 4 months until that counselor coerced him into answering a bunch of questions. That's what happened. We're going to get to the bottom of it, and I will post this now, but this is not the fluent video I posted a couple of days ago.